morning. This Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. After dipping to 56,500, Bitcoin looks to be taking off here a little bit, 58,185. Let's go to our word of the day. Mornings with Michael is brought to you for information and educational purposes only. Our word of the day is exhortation, an address or communication emphatically urging someone to do something. When he grabs something he shouldn't, my dog usually heeds my stern exhortation to drop it. So that is the story there. Let us go to our S&P 500 heat map. Things are actually heating up today. We've got a bounce in technology. Tesla is up big. Our stock of the day is Groupon, which is up about 11% today. Financials got hit a little bit. JP Morgan, Citibank, Wells Fargo are down a little bit. Utilities are bouncing. Healthcare, energy is pretty mixed. So let us go take a look at our charts here in a second. If you're concerned at all about a hard recession, you might think of pooling your hard-earned money that or wealth that you brought over, and it only goes up when the market goes up, does not go down when the market goes down. And so it beats index investing by about 5% per year. That's the story there, and they are currently offering in some accounts 25 to 45% bonuses. If you'd like to learn more, please check in with me. And let's go to our charts. This is CrowdStrike, pulling back a little bit. Our dollar index is down again, pulls back to the 200-day moving average. Silver, it did pull back a little bit here. You would think it would be bouncing up on the dollar's pullback, but that is not the case. Gold is up slightly. Copper is up slightly as well, up to its 50-day moving average. And Arrow Copper is bouncing, pretty strong bounce there. Take a look at the other Canadian mining company here. It's bouncing as well. Freeport McMoran. It's pretty flat. We got 3 days in a row that it's flat. And Southern Copper is up slightly. Look at our favorite uranium stock we have in our portfolio. It's pulling back a little bit to 225 after this big strong move here. So we'll see where that takes us. And now let's go to our bond yields. Bond yields tried to move higher and pull back. Pretty flat for the day. On the 10-year, the 20-year is pretty flat as well, up 0.06%. The VIX tried to move higher and is pulling back. S&P 500, I think you'll see it bouncing. It is bouncing about 1% today. The equal weight in the S&P is gapping up. That's a nice sign, up a little over 1%. The NASDAQ is bouncing as well off of the 10-day moving average, up 1.02%. Look at our equal weight in the NASDAQ is bouncing a little higher. So that's good news as well. IWM is our ETF of the day. And we had, I believe, a gap up this morning. We're going to pause and bring up our chart. We have our IWM ETF of the day. It's up 1.15%, and it was up big yesterday, closed the day strong. So that's good. Finally, let's take a look at the Dow Jones. And it looks like it's breaking out. It's up almost 0.9%. So let's go to our news of the day. President Biden faced more calls from fellow Democrats to abandon his re-election bid on Friday following a news conference in which he delivered several responses that had him tripping over his words. At least 17 congressional Democrats so far have called on him to drop out. He referred to Vice President Kamala Harris as Vice President Trump. So Japan may have spent 3.57 trillion yen on Thursday in its most recent intervention for the X market to bounce the yen up from its 30-year low. The Ministry of Finance appears to have spent around 3.37 to 3.57 trillion yen intervening in the market to support the Japanese currency. On to our sector news breakdown. Back over here. Booking upgraded to buy from hold at benchmark with a $4,700 price target. Bunge offered concessions to European Union competition regulators in a bid to allay antitrust concerns over its planned $8.2 billion buyout of Viterra. Tesla downgraded to sell from neutral, and 197 target saying it's increasingly difficult to justify valuation. And guess what? It bounces on that news. So energy, industrials, and materials. Ray upgraded to buy from neutral at Citi, but lowers target from 14 to lowers target to 14 from $17. So it's up 8.69% today. Fang, Diamondback Energy said Q2 average total realized oil price per barrel $79.51, average total natural gas MCF 10 cents, and average total realized natural gas line price a barrel is $17.97. And we got a little bit of a pullback in Diamondback today. Fastenal, Q2 EPS 51 cents, in line with consensus as sales rose 1.8% year over year to 1.92, and they gap up and are pulling back to their 50-day moving average on that gap up. Lockheed Martin, deliveries of F-35 jets to the U.S. military are set to resume shortly without the complete TR-3 software. The head of F-35 Joint Program Office said on Thursday. On to financials. Bank of New York, Q2 adjusted EPS $1.51 versus estimate $1.43, and it is jumping on this news. It is the best one on the earnings so far on the banks. JP Morgan, Q2 EPS $4.40 versus $4.28. Slow to come up here. We're back here, JP Morgan. Pull back to the 10-day moving average, and it's trying to fight back to get into the pivot zone here. Wells Fargo, unfortunately, sank on its earnings quite a bit, down 6%. It is fighting back a little bit. Quarterly earnings $1.33 on revenues of 20.69 billion versus estimate of 20.28 billion. Not really sure what disappointed everybody, but it is down this morning. Eisai and Biogen announced a humanized anti-soluble aggregated amyloid beta monoclonal antibody, like Quembi, easy for you to say, has been approved in Israel as a treatment for Alzheimer's disease. So let's see if this comes up. I guess it's not a US stock, so it's not going to come up. Merck said it expects a post quarter 3 change of about 1.3 billion or 50 cents a share. Let's go back to Biogen and see if that comes up and see how that reacts. And that initially moved up, but it is being slammed down 4%, down to its 50-day moving average. Onto technology, media, and telecom. AT&T said it learned of a data breach on April 19th. And we are going to pause again because we got a little problem with our. So we are back. Let's get back to our screens. So this is snow, second part of the article. Most of the records were stolen from the cloud giant Snowflake during a recent spate of data thefts. So that has just finished the news here. Ericsson reported better than expected Q2 sales and profitability, said a new patent licensing deal was signed during Q2, lifting licensing revenue to 3.9 million Swedish kronor. We got a lift off in Ericsson today, up a little over 5%. Intel's push into software is going well, and the company could have a cumulative software revenue of $1 billion by the end of 2027, said Chief Technology Officer Greg Lavender. And finally, Semtech Q2 bookings have exceeded bookings for Q1, reaffirms financial outlook for Q2, and Semtech is pulling back to its 50-day moving average. So that is a look there. Let us go take a look at what is up 5%. We've got 21 items. Continues to see items in biotech. 40 molecular therapy is up 5% today. We got 21 items. We're not going to go through all of them. Alpha and Omega Semiconductors up again today, up 8.38%. Bank 7, Beazer Homes and Home Builders, Bank of New York Mellon, which we looked at in the news. Corbus Pharmaceuticals, biotech is up 11%. Earnings are up for 27 days. Credit Acceptance, Dick's Sporting Goods. Groupon, is our stock of the day. TouchMed, ADR in China, Interperfumes, Logistics Prop Americas, Middlesex Water, NewScale Power, Q32 Bio is moving up 14% today on the day. Working on a little cup here, see if it'll handle out or not, or if it's just going to keep moving on up. Rivian Automotive up $1.86, up over 11%. Walmart of Mexico and big move up 5.27%, up $1.94. So that is the story there. Let's see if there's anything in our 10%, 200% increase in volume. We do not have anything. So that is the story there. Let us take a look at what's happening. Our world weather. Weatherford is up this morning. Just take a look at XLE. It's up slightly. Just take a look around. Metals and mining are moving up today. That's a nice little formation. Home builders up nicely. Consumer discretionary with Tesla giving it a good ride for the money. Utilities, they're up. Real estate. So you can just see that the market rally is broadening. SMH is bouncing today. Infrastructure moving above its 50-day. Airlines, pretty flat there. Leisure activities, we got a gap up on leisure activities. So yeah, it looks pretty good that the rally is kind of broadening here. Let's kind of continue to look what's going on. BitX is up about 3% today. MicroStrategy just have a small put spread on Bitcoin. It's working in our favor right now. Bitcoin MicroStrategy is going to be doing a 10-for-1 stock split pretty soon here. Nvidia is bouncing off of the 10-day moving average. Just running through some things that we're trading. About this at 117, 119 and 116. It's doing Apollo Global Management is doing well. Trying to add to Dutch Brothers today. It's kind of moving away from our bid. But it looks like a nice move here after the pullback. Elf Beauty. Pull back to 200. We've got a nice little bounce here, up 1.5%. Trying to pull up my portfolio here on my other format, but got Dave put a little in Dave as it was bouncing off of these levels over here. IoT took some profits right over here, but we still have part of that trade on in options. Front door got a big move yesterday, got a little bit of a move today. See if we can get above our 50-day moving average here. Another spread trade we bought on. Air Test Systems up another 4% today. We put on options trade in XRT, continues moving up another 1%. Put on Datadog again. It's up 0.5% today. Put on option and app. It's up 3.5% today. Our position in ARM is bouncing off of the 50-day moving average. And we looked at CrowdStrike earlier, and Kava Mediterranean Grill continues its pullback. It's right here at the 50-day moving average. Just continue to hold. And that is our story for today. Well, Happy Friday to everybody. Hope you have a great weekend. This has been Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. Go out there and have a great weekend. Spend some time with your family and then refresh and get ready for the start of a new week. Hope everybody has a good one. We'll see you later.